Winter is coming, and for some people, that could mean seasonal depression. What resources are available to help?
We're finally getting this done. Well, folks, I'm going to get you each
And President Biden signing his infrastructure bill today, what this means for the U.S.
And I'm tracking a temperature roller coaster for the coming week. I'll have all of that in my full forecast.
Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening, thanks for being with us. I'm Zach Greer.
And I'm Vanessa Tessino.
And you know, I cannot believe that it was snowing today after it being 60 degrees last week.
I know, I definitely need to get my winter coat out, but I really hope we don't see that snow later this week. Hope?
Yeah, we saw those snowy conditions today, and it's going to be a temperature roller coaster for sure. We did see a high of only 37 degrees today. That's 16 degrees below average for this time of year, and our record high temperature was 73 degrees. That was set back in 1971, so not even close to that 73 degrees that we saw then. But as for right now, we are still sitting on the cool side, 37 degrees here in Muncie, 36 degrees in Indianapolis, a bit cooler up in South Bend. They're sitting at 32 degrees. St. Louis are sitting at 47 degrees right now, and that's due in part to this warm front that will be moving through our area later on this week, and I will be checking just when we'll see those warm temperatures along with rain chances on Wednesday and cooler temperatures, all of that and more coming up in my full forecast.
Thank you so much, Hope. As temperatures start to drop and daylight starts to dwindle, some may start to experience the effects of seasonal affective disorder, otherwise known as seasonal depression.
NewsLink Indiana's Janae Williams spoke with members of the Ball State community about the resources available to help.
Seasonal depression. It's a mood disorder in which one experiences more fatigue, social isolation, and feelings of hopelessness as the weather changes. Some students of Ball State that have the disorder have already started to see this take place, especially as many are experiencing this in a completely new environment away from where they call home.
I know that it's going to be more difficult, but I'm hoping that there are things that I'm going to be able to convince myself to do to make it feel like I'm still at home.
But Ball State has taken initiative, tackling the topic of mental health.
I try my best to, talk to friends and keep spirits high and all that fun stuff.
Alongside the Counseling Center, student clubs and organizations have created spaces for people to share their experiences. Let's talk about it. A club prioritizing the mental health of African Americans has made its fellowship open to everyone.
Normally during this time of the season change, people really don't understand what they're going through, so we kind of offer that safe space for people to actually talk about things and then we also offer knowledge and resources on other places they can go to on campus that they may not have known it before, but just from reaching out through our organization, we kind of serve as a liaison between us and the other organizations or other facilities that are meant for people to get help with those type of things. So yeah.
This is all in an effort to help students get through the season and take away the stigma regarding mental health. In Muncie, Janae Williams, NewsLink, Indiana.
For more information on the resources around campus, you can visit ballstatedaily.com.
Researchers have added to an existing body of evidence that shows a link between antidepressants and reduced mortality from COVID-19. The most recent study shows people taking Prozac were 28% less likely to die from COVID. People taking fluoxamine were 26% less likely to die. Others saw fatality rates decrease by 8%. Scientists still don't know why, but one theory is that they reduce inflammatory compounds that cause problems in severe COVID-19 cases. Researchers looked at more than 83,000 medical records of COVID patients for the results.
COVID-19 cases in the U.S. are on the rise once again. According to Johns Hopkins University, about 82,000 new cases are being reported each day. That's 11% more than the daily average from 2 weeks ago. 20 states are seeing a rise in cases with some of the highest rates in Minnesota, North Dakota, and Alaska. Meanwhile, COVID-19 deaths are down about 9% from 2 weeks ago. Hospitalizations rates also fell about 3%. It's unclear just yet how the latest rise in cases will affect those numbers.
President Joe Biden signed into law today a $1.2 trillion infrastructure package. The signing marked a major legislative victory at the White House event that included lawmakers from both parties. The legislation will deliver $550 billion of new federal investments over 5 years, including a $65 billion investment in the improving of the nation's broadband infrastructure.
My message to the American people is this: America's moving again, and your life is going to change for the better.
The bill was first passed by the Senate in a 69-31 vote in August. It was ultimately passed by the House on November 5th. 13 Republican lawmakers backed the vote.
This bipartisan support for this bill comes because it makes sense for our constituents. But the approach from the center out should be the norm, not the exception.
The signing comes as Biden is facing slumping poll numbers. A new ABC Washington Post poll over the weekend put the president's approval rating at 41% approve and 53% disapprove. President Joe Biden also signing today a new executive order supporting Native American communities during the first Tribal Nations Summit since 2016. Biden outlined a new initiative which involves 17 federal departments and agencies protecting tribal treaty rights. Some of the key actions include increasing tribal participation in the management of federal lands, incorporating tribal ecological knowledge in the fight against climate change, and addressing violence against Native Americans.
We have to continue to stand up for the dignity and sovereignty of tribal nations.
Today, the court heard closing arguments in the trial against Kyle Rittenhouse, a 17-year-old charged with killing 2 people and wounding another during a protest last year. Prosecutors say Rittenhouse did so with an AR-15 style weapon that he knew he couldn't have, but his attorneys say Rittenhouse fired the shots to protect himself.
I didn't do anything wrong, I defended myself.
Also today, the judge dismissed a misdemeanor weapons possession charge against Rittenhouse. As for the other charges against him, jurors will first consider each original offense. However, if they decide Rittenhouse is not guilty, the jury can consider lesser offenses corresponding to the case.
It's no surprise that this is a case that there's a lot of noise and a lot of static surrounding it. If you're the one who's threatening others, you lose the right to claim self-defense.
Last week, Rittenhouse testified he acted in self-defense and has pleaded not guilty to all charges. If convicted of the most serious charge against him, he faces a mandatory sentence of life in prison. 500 Wisconsin National Guard soldiers are on standby and prepared to deploy to Kenosha in order to support local law enforcement and first responders. Former Trump advisor Steve Bannon appeared in federal court today after surrendering himself to the FBI. He was indicted on 2 counts of contempt of Congress after refusing to comply with a subpoena from the House committee investigating the January 6th Capitol insurrection. Before Bannon turned himself in, he was defiant when addressing TV cameras, saying, quote, "We're taking down the Biden regime." He has to give the court weekly check-ins, surrender his passport, and provide details on any travel outside Washington, D.C. Bannon is set to be arraigned on Thursday. If convicted, he faces up to 1 year in jail for each of the 2 counts against him.
Coming up after the break, where experts say the country's unemployment rate will be at the end of the year.
And how tech gadgets are being affected this holiday season. Next.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, MITS will take you there.
I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back. The David Owsley Museum of Art is working toward bringing business back. They are doing so through new virtual and in-person events, saying business slowed down during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Like most other places, we were closed for a short time at the beginning of the pandemic, and we decided to switch more towards virtual and digital programming.
The Art Museum features over 11,000 works of art from 6 continents that represents 5,000 years of civilization. It shows art from different cultures like African, Asian, Oceanic, American, European, contemporary, and modern art. The museum is open Tuesday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturday from 1:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m.
Home prices are expected to end the year on a high note. New data shows a double-digit rise in the median home price, and there's no relief in sight. The new data shows demand for homes is pushing prices even higher. According to the National Association of Realtors, the median home price is up 16% from last year. Prices rose in 99% of the 183 U.S. markets it tracks, with homes selling for a record 100% of asking price and 35% of homes selling above asking price.
In order to get us out of this housing crisis we have where prices keep going up, we actually have to build more homes, and 1 year is not enough time for us to see that happen. I don't think we're going to see any reduction in prices in the next year.
About half of houses for sale are going under contract within a week of hitting the market, and with so much competition for existing homes on the market, some first-time home buyers are giving up and renting instead.
A Wall Street bank is predicting America's unemployment rate will hit a 50-year low by the end of 2022. Goldman Sachs told its clients they expect the nation's unemployment rate to hit a low of 3.5% by the end of next year. That would match the 50-year record low reached back in 2019. As the economic recovery from the pandemic continues, Goldman says there will be a dramatic improvement compared to April 2020, when unemployment was nearly 15%. However, the bank is also predicting that inflation will continue to get worse this winter before it gets better. The Department of Homeland Security is changing how it hires cybersecurity specialists. The agency has launched a new talent management system where potential candidates can apply. A senior official says DHS wants to hire the first 150 cybersecurity service employees in 2022. The new system is meant to modernize hiring and compensation. DHS has had issues recruiting and retaining talent in this field for the past decade. They say these roles won't be using the traditional federal pay scale. Instead, they will be competitive with what other employees are paying for these roles.
If you're planning to buy a tech gadget as a holiday gift this year, well, you might want to purchase it soon. Shoppers are having a hard time finding some of the holiday's hottest gifts, like video game consoles and smartphones. Some of Apple's biggest products, like the iPhone 13, new iPads, and AirPods, are experiencing delays well into December. Some of Google Pixel 6 Pro's devices aren't shipping out until January. Xbox and PS5 consoles have popped up in stores randomly, but quickly sell out. Unfortunately, production companies say the issue will likely continue through 2022.
The 95th annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is just over a week away, and officials are already conducting pre-flight rehearsals for the balloons. One test flight happened this weekend. The test flight for the brand new attractions for this year's parade include a Baby Yoda, a Pikachu, and a Ronald McDonald inflatable. The parade always needs a few hundred balloon handlers, and this weekend was a chance for the newbies to get their first experience before the big day.
You know, I'm really hoping that the next couple of days is perfect balloon flying weather. Hope, what do you got for us?
Yeah, we have 2 days of warm temperatures, but then a big drop off on the way. I'll be tracking all of that coming up after the break.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
Watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other.
on a deeper level. Father,
Cosplayer,
mentor.
actor.
It's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together.
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Welcome back. I'm weather forecaster Hope Kleitch. Yesterday we saw our first fall snow accumulation and we saw about 4/10 of an inch of snow here in Muncie. On average, we see our first fall snow on November 19th. So we saw that about 5 days before average. Last year we saw this first accumulation on November 10th. We did see a little bit of snow again today, but not much accumulation with that. It did stick on the grass a little bit, but that snow is pushing off to our southeast, leaving us behind with some mostly cloudy skies for tonight. Otherwise, spanning out to the west, we can see our next system starting to build over Nebraska due to this low pressure system. And attached to that is a warm front that will be pushing through our area within the next few days, bringing us much warmer temperatures going into the day tomorrow and on Wednesday. But as for right now, temperatures are on the cooler side. We're sitting at 37 degrees here in Muncie, 36 degrees in Indianapolis, and a little bit cooler up in Fort Wayne. They're sitting at 33 degrees. Those winds are on the light side, but they are dropping our temperatures down just a little bit. Feels like 33 degrees here in Indianapolis, 33 degrees here in Muncie, 30 degrees in Indianapolis, and a little bit cooler over in Champaign as their winds are a little bit stronger. They're feeling like 27 degrees right now. As we go across the night tonight, we will drop down to 32 degrees under mostly cloudy skies as those snow showers move off to the southeast. Winds coming from the southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. A beautiful day is in store for tomorrow as temperatures will go above average once again, sitting at 57 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Those winds coming from the south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So those winds will be bringing us those much warmer temperatures. And strong winds are in the forecast throughout the next few days. Wind gusts on Tuesday start to increase. We could see wind gusts up to 19 miles per hour here in Muncie, but early Wednesday morning we see those wind gusts starting to go up into the 30 mile per hour range, and then they stick around throughout the day on Wednesday, but then start to die out before early Thursday morning. And along with these strong winds is our next rain chance. So on Wednesday afternoon you can start to see this rain chance start to move into the state of Indiana. It will move into the Muncie region around the evening hours on Wednesday, but then we'll push off by lunchtime on Thursday. And looking at the mid-7-day forecast, a temperature roller coaster is definitely on the way. We see 57 degrees for tomorrow, and then on Wednesday, a high of 65 degrees before dropping nearly 20 degrees on Thursday to a high of 46 degrees, 41 degrees in store for Friday, and then rain chances again on Saturday, Sunday, and even going into Monday.
About that warm front, but not about that rain coming in.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for the 60 degrees on Wednesday.
Awesome. Hope, thank you. I think it's time for some sports. Caleb, what do you got?
Thanks, guys. One Ball State team back in front of fans for the first time in almost 2. An update on another Ball State squad. Find out who next in sports.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it? Is this... What is that? Seriously? Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Caleb Zuver with sports. Ball State basketball opening their season at home against Omaha. NewsLink Indiana's Bryce Dimsevich met with the team after the game.
This past weekend, Ball State men's basketball facing off against Omaha, playing a regular season game at Worthen Arena in front of fans for the first time in 2 years. Head coach James Whitford talks about how having fans in the arena was different from last year's competition.
But I thought we had a good crowd, and 2 years ago we led the league in attendance, and I thought that, in the day when everybody's fighting for that entertainment now, we've been able to hold our own.
True freshman Peyton Sparks goes into detail about how playing his first regular season game in Worthen was, and how the crowd of 2,000 plus gave the players the necessary push towards victory.
I felt good. I felt it was first home game, so you felt the crowd's presence, and it was just nice to see fans back in the
Junior Jalen Whittam talks about what it was like to play in front of fans for the first time in 2 years, and what scoring a career-high 14 points was like with the crowd behind him. In order to do that, he needed to make a couple of these.
That was big, when we had it going, they were right with it, so we could feel that, especially in the first half.
The Cardinals starting the game strong, reaching a lead of 29 points with 2 minutes left in the first half, looking as if they were going to pull away with a big win. Came out in the second half lackadaisical, allowing Omaha back in the game. The Cardinals upping their defense at the end of the game with the crowd rallying behind them, pulling out a 73-69 win.
The only good thing we did down the stretch is we really got rattled when they were making the run. I thought we refocused a little bit in the last 4.
Ball State hopes to ride this momentum into their upcoming game against Florida International University on November 18th. In Muncie, Bryce Dimsevich, NewsLink, Indiana.
Keeping things on the courts, women's basketball hitting the road for the first time this season in a big rivalry matchup. After taking down the Milwaukee Panthers in their home opener in an overtime thriller 84-75, the Cardinals will make the in-state trip to Indianapolis when they meet up with the Bulldogs of Butler tomorrow evening. The two Indiana foes will be facing off for the 28th time in history. In their last matchup in 2019, Ball State took home the victory at Worthen Arena 74-70. The Cardinals will look to bring home back-to-back wins against Butler on Tuesday. And moving things over to the gridiron, Ball State football taking on the Northern Illinois Huskies last Wednesday as they look to secure another MAC championship. The Cardinals entering the matchup 5-4 on the season. They either led or were even with the Huskies throughout the first 3 quarters of play, but it is the Huskies coming out on top with a 32-yard field goal as time expired to put Northern Illinois up 30-29. The result of essentially putting the Cardinals' back-to-back MAC championship hopes to rest. Even with the loss, though, there are bright spots for Ball State as defensive coordinator Tyler Stockton being named for the Broyles Award. The award is presented annually to the nation's top assistant coach. Additionally, the Cardinals still have a shot at a bowl game, sitting at 5-5 with 2 home games left to finish out the season. And guys, so many sports going on. We have women's basketball tomorrow, guys basketball later this week, and football just this tomorrow as well.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see our winter sports in action this season.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much, Caleb.
Thank you.
After the break, we'll take a look at our trending stories.
And we'll have a final look at the weather. Stay with us.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go. Never gonna let
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared, so start now.
Right now? Right now.
You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Alex Balin with Trending. Taylor Swift has released a new music video directed by Gossip Girl star Blake Lively. It's for the song I Bet You Think About Me, which is an older song Swift originally wrote from her 2012 album Red, but it never released. She included it and other unreleased songs on the new version of that album. It also includes re-recorded versions of original songs after the pop star's record label refused to sell her the rights to her own material. Sesame Street is getting a Korean-American character. A Muppet named Ji Young is 7 years old. She is set to make her debut on a new special called See Us Coming Together. The special's goal is to celebrate the diversity of the Asian and Pacific Islander communities. The man who co-directed it says her appearance won't be one-off, and she will be featured in future seasons. See Us Coming Together, a Sesame Street special, is set to air on Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much, Alex. Now let's take one final look at weather.
Yeah, temperature roller coaster is on its way. We see temperatures in the upper 50s for Tuesday and the mid 60s on Wednesday, and then dropping down on Thursday down into the 40s.
Thank you so much, Hope. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.